South Africa is a large country of some 1.22 million square kilometers and a coastline of nearly 2,800 kilometers. On the western side, towards the Namibian border, it is semi-desert, while the Western Cape has a Mediterranean climate. Further east, it becomes subtropical, whereas most of the interior is high-veld savanna or grassland. This does give climatic variety, which makes it possible to grow virtually any crop one can think of. Agriculture in South Africa is seen as a combination of general or mixed agriculture. Hunting, forestry, fisheries, both sea and aquaculture. More importantly, agriculture is the basis of food security and shelter for the human masses of the world. You all need agriculture to survive. No agriculture, no food, no life. So love your farmers. Financially speaking, where is South African agriculture? The gross national product of the country is approximately 3,150 billion rand, of which agriculture makes out about 2.2%. In comparison, the public administration is a very high 488 billion, and the services sector contributes approximately 660 billion rand. Only 12% of the surface area of the country is used for agriculture, about 82 million hectares. Of this, only 22% is considered to be high potential soil or land. The biggest problem the country and specifically the agricultural industry faces is the erratic and unreliable rainfall. On average, only 460 millimeters per year, and as such, the lack of sufficient irrigation water. Less than 1.5 million hectares is irrigated, mostly from dams, rivers and canals. But South African agriculture is technologically sound, and it is the only country on the African continent that has a net export of agricultural product. Animal husbandry uses 65 million hectares of the land, field crops some 10 million, and horticulture and mixed farming around 4 million hectares each. Commercial forest, much of this on the slopes of mountains, covers approximately 1 million hectares. Livestock farming includes a cattle herd of just under 13 million, with most of the European breeds raised here. Some of these are the ever-popular black and red Aberdeen Angus, limousines, Pinskouers, while the local crossbreed Bonsmara, a red animal, accounts for 60% of the commercial herd. Indigenous African breeds such as the Nguni, with its beautiful skins, and Boran, lovely docile mothers to work with, are also popular. Under the rule of King Shaka, white Nguni animals were very important and sought after, and his number one army all had white Nguni hide shields. Wagyu beef, with its marbled meat, is becoming very popular and fetches high prices. South Africans consume just over 17 kilograms of beef per year. Pork consumption, including bacon, is 5 kilograms per person, and the turnover is about 1.5 million sows per year. South African landrace, large white, and Duroc are the most used breeds. Although the national sheep flock has decreased by some 30% over the last 40 years, South Africa still has about 20 million head in the flock. The locally bred Dooney Merino, with its fine wool and great meat quality, is very popular with the farmers, as is the high weaning percentage and the high number of twins and triplets that are born. The per capita consumption of lamb and mutton is a relatively low 3.5 kilograms per person. Dorper, Dormer, and the German meat merinos are also popular breeds. The largest and most affordable source of protein, however, is poultry, with an annual turnover of 200 million birds and an egg consumption of 7.5 kilograms per person. With time, the number of dairy farmers in South Africa has also decreased significantly, from more than 15,000 to less than 2,000. But herd size has increased dramatically, so finding herds of thousands is not uncommon. With a consumption of 40 kilograms of milk product per person, the dairy industry is sound. Most herds are Holstein, while Jersey, with its high fat content, and Ayrshire are also popular. Animals are fed on both natural veld or planted pastures, and large dairies also use modern cow sheds or houses, feeding the animals on special diets that is mostly prepared on the farms. In commercial parlours, both herringbone systems and rotary tables are used, as is the automation of all systems. Field crops are varied and is produced in most parts of the country. Maize is produced on approximately 30% of the land used for field crops, and the production is primarily dry land. The average yield is about 4 tons per hectare. Soya, another important protein source, makes up about 7.5% of the surface area, and the processing to oil cake is done on farm by some of the producers. Wheat, both summer and winter grain, and in some regions also under irrigation, takes up about 5%. Here the average yield is 3.6 tons per hectare, but this can vary with irrigation. This includes canola or rapeseed. Sunflower is also grown on about 5% of the land, while smaller industries include cotton and groundnuts. Sugarcane is another crop that utilizes about 5% of the land. Production is limited mostly to the provinces of KwaZulu-Natal and Mpumalanga, where it supplies 85,000 direct jobs. There are 21,000 small-scale producers and 1,200 large commercial growers, delivering 20 million tons of cane to 14 mills. The total sugar production from this is 2.2 million tons, of which 60% is sold in the SADC region. South Africa is in the top 15 worldwide in terms of sugar production. Growers replant 10% of a farm per year, and a growth cycle, or ratoon as it is known, that is from planting to harvest, takes from 12 months to 2 years in higher lying areas. Harvesting in South Africa remains a manual task, helping with job creation and employment. Looking at horticulture, South Africa is a world leader when it comes to quality and is a major role player in the export market, primarily because we are out of season with the Northern Hemisphere and we can deliver product when demand is high and supply very low. The export value of only table grapes and apples is in excess of 15 billion rand, while wine and spirits, mostly brandy, give another 15 billion. Other deciduous fruits that are exported includes plums, pears, peaches, and apricots. Subtropical and tropical fruit production, export and processing includes lychee, avocado, mango, banana, and pineapples. Although for many years citrus was produced mainly in the Mpumalanga province, areas in the Eastern Cape and some smaller regions in the Western Cape, more and more areas are today planted with especially mandarins, and the seedless varieties are very popular. Oranges, lemons and limes, as well as grapefruits, are also cultivated. More than 65% of the citrus crop is exported today. Other horticultural crops of significance includes berry production, especially blueberries and strawberries. These products are processed and also snap frozen for the production of yogurts. Eating olives and the production of high quality extra virgin oil is another growing industry, while herbs and fragrant oil plants such as lavender and rose geranium are also grown. Drying fruit is another important industry in its own right. Storing is easy and it can be kept for long periods, while it is also very healthy. In the food chain, various vegetables and potatoes and salads are very important. South Africa is in the fortunate position that we can grow and process most of the produce throughout the year, whether in open fields or in tunnels. Supermarkets and other stores, as well as informal traders on the roadside, sell fresh produce daily. The produce can include vegetables such as pumpkin and squash types, cauliflower and broccoli, brinjals, carrots, sweet corn, green beans, as well as salad ingredients like lettuce, tomatoes and cherry tomatoes, robot peppers, cucumbers, onions, avocado, fresh herbs and various kinds of nuts. For many South Africans, potatoes is staple food, sold loose or per pocket, and as young new potatoes, sometimes peeled. Most trading between large exporters on behalf of the international supermarket chains and the farmer, but the farmer also supplies local fresh produce markets and supermarkets. From a health perspective, vegetable juices are also growing in popularity. Cultivated flowers are grown in open fields, but mostly in hot or greenhouses and tunnels. Forestry accounts for just over 1% of GDP and covers approximately 1.2 million hectares. New and replantings is at about 100 million trees per year, with approximately 150,000 people working in the industry. Most of the forests are found in the provinces of KwaZulu-Natal and Mpumalanga, where they say the Sabi region is the largest man-made forest in the world. Nearly 50% of all plantings are pine and about 43% blue gum. Mechanization is very important, but hand labor cannot be replaced. Innovation, though, is the mainstay of this industry. A novel way to get to understand agriculture better is to undertake farm tours with the farmers. The biggest agricultural show in South Africa is NAMPO, where the farming community can view the latest equipment and trends every year. Held in May, this is a calendar highlight. So, farmers are agriculture. Agriculture is food. Food is life, and life is you. Love the farmers. They feed Africa. Love life.